we so drawn into the negative stories? Why do we kind of lean in when we hear the bad news? We want to hear all the details, and we want to know all that's going on. And it's more gripping to hear those stories. They're more engaging to hear the negative stories. And we never can seem to get enough of all the bad news. I mean, in our world today, it's just all negative. Inflation, recession, war in Iraq, war in Ukraine. And I can just go on with all the stuff going on. And it's all so negative. And yet God calls us to be positive. It's a battle. It's a battle to keep our mind and to keep our thoughts in a positive manner. And I like what God says. He says this, finally, my friends, keep your minds on whatever's true, pure, right, holy, friendly, and proper. Don't ever stop thinking about what is truly worthwhile and worthy of praise. Why do we focus so much on the negative today? Why is our thoughts drawn to all the bad and all the horrible things going on? We need to change the way we think. We need to change. And it's going to take intentional thinking. It's not going to happen, well, I'm going to be positive. I don't think that's going to happen that way. We need to encourage our mind. We need to encourage ourselves to think that way. And one thing I've been doing here, and you hear me talk more and more about, and I've shot a video already on it, is we got to tell our God stories. We got to tell the stories of what God has done. And when we tell our God stories, we're adding to God's story. I was thinking as I was writing this outline here for this morning is I've had a 39-year God story. That my dream in 1981 that I would leave seminary and pastor a church my whole life. That I'd find a place to pastor the church in the town and I would be a part of a church. And that was my dream. My first church, I lasted 18 months. That was it. But for 39 years now, I've been able to walk this town and pastor this church here in Salida. That's a God story. It's not always been fun. It's not always been a joy. There's always heartaches. But it's a God story, how God works and how God moves. Last Saturday, had a chance to pray with a couple of 20-year-old girls looking and talking about truth. And I got to pray for truth, that they can understand truth and that those they talk with will find the truth. And just this week, there was a God story. One I'm not pleased with. I had to go somewhere and I was delayed. I had to find something and I couldn't find it. I got frustrated. I got aggravated. I couldn't get what I needed to get in. I couldn't get what I needed to move on. And 20 minutes, I kept looking and wasting 20 minutes of time trying to get there. But what happened was that 20-minute delay put me in the right place at the right time. Because if I would have been early, I might have been in and out and gone before I needed to be there to minister, to serve, to be part of what God was doing. That delay was a God story. Even a bad thing can be a God story. Waiting around trying to find something was a God story. I want to encourage you, you have God stories. We don't ignore them. I really don't think you ignore them. I just don't think we think about them. So I want to encourage you, like that verse says, I want to encourage you to think about it. I want you to think of a God story. Maybe a 39-year God story. Good time, bad time, it's all been there. But what about a recent God story? I had one Saturday. I'm looking forward to tomorrow morning with that drive-through prayer right here in our parking lot. There's some God stories happening there. So I want to ask you, where's your God story? Here's what the scripture says. Oh Lord, I will praise you with all my heart. I will tell everyone about the marvelous things you do. I want you to tell me. I want you to text me. I want you to email me. I want you to come by the church. We got the yellow papers right here on the entrance that you can fill out. I want to hear some God stories because God's doing marvelous things. The world plasters all the negative out there, but you have a God story. God has touched you. I want to hear your God story. God bless you. Take care. Let me hear what God has done for you. We can change the world with God stories because God changes. God bless you. Take care. See you Sunday. I do love you. I truly do. I really mean that with all my heart. And we're going to have a great time as we worship God Sunday. Online, in person, wherever you're at. Tune in. Even if you can't make it Sunday, I'll leave it up online Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And let's leave it there Saturday. God bless you. Take care. See you Sunday.